student of MA first year and an executive member of the RA, the Library Club of our college, welcomes you all to this esteemed occasion. I feel elated to have your benign presence today. In fact, all the students and members of RA are indeed blessed that we got this opportunity of organizing this event, as this is the first offline event after our college post-COVID. And we are very thankful for the motivation and guidance of Deepthi ma'am. Principal sir is busy due to some reasons and he'll join us in a bit. So I would like to invite Mr. Vishal Sood, Deepthi ma'am, Sutapa ma'am, Sharendra sir, Akash and Nishta to light the Dipshikha.
ज्ञान प्रदायिनी ज्योतिर्मय हो चहु दिशि उद्घोष अभय दिए विजय जय दिए विजय जय प्रबल प्रवाहमयी नित नूतन जीवन दायिनी सदा सनातन वेद प्रणीता परम पुनीता हे धारा अक्षय दिए विजय जय दिए विजय जय दयानंद से प्रेम भक्ति ले हंसराज से त्याग शक्ति ले धर्म भक्ति का राष्ट्र शक्ति का हो दिन मान उदय समृद्धि इसकी लहरें प्रेम शांति इसके तट ठहरे सघन शांतिमय प्रबल क्रांतिमय लिए अटल निश्चय दिए विजय जय दिए विजय जय.
Enter Deepthi ma'am, our college librarian. She always reaches out to students, understands their concerns, and does everything for their welfare. May I now request you, ma'am, to come on stage and introduce our keynote speaker to all present here.
Mr. Vishal Sood, keynote speaker of the event, guests, faculty members, staff members, Team Raha, and other participants, students. Very good morning to all of you. I, Deepthi Madan, librarian, have a great pleasure in having all of you for today's event. Let me take the opportunity to express my gratitude to respected Principal Sir in absentia, though he is not here, who is a pillar of strength in our pursuits. Sir, your able guidance always enables us to march ahead. With the blessings of Almighty, we have gathered together today after a gap of almost 2 years, which were crisis-laden, fearful and uncertain. I am so happy to see the students beaming with smiles and life. We are honored to have Mr. Vishal Sood as keynote speaker of the day, a dynamic persona a person with remarkable eloquence and a source of inspiration for many. Mr. Sood is the CEO and founder of Alma Bay Networks Private Limited. An alumnus of IIM Ahmedabad, he had the privilege of overseeing the entire South Asian business for a tech company at the age of 26. He gives his expertise to emerging startups and listed companies. He has also founded a channel, Punjab Today, and organizes many TV shows on education. An author of the book, The Switch from Good to Great, he is also a TEDx and motivational speaker who is often busy mentoring and nurturing young minds. He draws his thoughts and views from Vedas, our ancient Indian repository of wisdom. He is an active sports person and imparts training in basketball and cricket to youngsters. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your valuable time and accepting our invitation. Before sir takes over, let me take an opportunity to apprise you all about the college library. Our college library is dedicated to provide readers the best of information and services. Well stocked, updated from time to time, equipped with technical infrastructure including RFID, digital section, in-house, Xerox, binding, meditation are some of the salient features of our library. Largent Research Library, which is the pride of our college, is dedicated to ancient Indian wisdom and knowledge, enshrined in rare books and manuscripts. It houses more than 10,000 rare books and more than 8,000 manuscripts. The paper manuscripts have been digitized using high-tech scanners and have been uploaded on the website. There is a fully developed website which gives information about the layout of the library and provides access to e-resources through Government of India's projects like NDLI, Swayam online courses, Shodh Ganga, Enlist and JGate. Previous question papers, syllabi, newspaper clippings of our college will be uploaded soon on the college website. Nirmata, our college magazine, is also in the process of being digitized and will soon be uploaded. Apart from routine operations and services, library keeps on organizing extracurricular activities to boost the talent of the students. Even in the unpleasant time of pandemic phase, library was at the service of our students. Help desk was created on the student portal of our college where all their queries were taken up. Webinars were organized from time to time on the topics of e-resources and research. To sum up, library has always remained reader oriented and will always be. We are seeing the light of today's event due to the efforts and initiative of RA, the library club of our college. Since the day one, the panel members of this club have been constructively engaged in youth-oriented activities. The library club is reaching out to its readers through social media with a week-long schedule which comprises thought of the day, poetry, reels, videos, book recommendations, etc. I wish a promising future for Akash, President Ra, Himanshu, Vice President Ra, Nishtha, General Secretary Ra, Himanshi as its Joint Secretary, and Akshat, Rahul, Ankita and Vanshika as its executive members. The hard work, enthusiasm, innovative ideas and vision of RA panel members is highly appreciated. Their passion will surely inspire more students to join and give their best. Almighty enable Team RA to reach dizzy heights and achieve their goals. With these words, I invite Akash, President RA, for apprising the August gathering about RA and its future plans. Thank you, one and all.
A very good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to be on this stage. I still remember when Dipti ma'am called us to her office and said that there are many clubs in college, but one club related to books and clubs we don't have. So at that time we decided that we'll make one, and at that particular time we introduced this club. On 30th December 2021, we launched RA, the Library Club of DAV College. And I would like to thank ma'am and principal sir for this wonderful idea and considering me as the president of this club. RAHA, which stands for Read, Acquire, Achieve and Harmonize, the four pillars of the club, our motto is to give knowledge and experience of everything in a very interactive way through this different types of events, competitions, and sessions. Today, this is our first event of RA, and in fact, the first offline event of this college after this reopening of college, Corona period, and all. So, I thank you, Principal Sir and Vishal Sood Sir, for coming and gracing this event and making this event possible. We are also planning for many events in this coming future, like book donation camps and motivational talks, book reading sessions, debate sessions, and discussions on different topics. Many competitions are there, and human library, yeah, and many other events. I am proud to say that we are planning to organize TEDx, which will going to be the biggest event of this club in this college. And last but not the least, I would like to thank the members of RA and making RA a true club. Thank you so much and have a nice day, everyone.
Man who does it with utmost perfection. So I take this opportunity to invite our special guest, Mr. Vishal Sood, on stage and share his words of wisdom. Sir, if you could please come to the stage. And thank you.
Good morning, guys. I think by now you know I am Vishal Sood. Am I audible? Am I audible now? Yes. All right. And it's always a pleasure. I am also a DAVian. I studied in DAV College, Amritsar, and I think it should start with that. That being part of DAV legacy. Sometimes when I was also studying in DAV College, I didn't realize the impact DAV has had on India and in its education ecosystem and the kind of leaders it has provided. And I always say this, that if Charles Darwin, who was Charles Darwin? Who gave the theory of survival of the fittest. If he was to born today, he would have not studied in Cambridge. He would have studied in a DAV institute. Because DAV is one place which teaches you about survival of the fittest better than, I would say, even I am Ahmedabad. I'm really proud that I'm a DAVian. And all of you should be proud of this legacy, and big hand for DAV. I would like to thank Dipti ma'am and Principal Sir for having me here, and it's always a pleasure to interact with young minds. And today we are going to talk about how not to get labeled. But the how not to get labeled will be a derivative of certain other things, And although DAV stands for our culture, and but the thing is that today the most important subject that need to be taught in our education system somehow is missing. Our current education system is still a legacy of a colonial rule. आज से अंग्रेजों को कुछ लोग चाहिए थे काम करने के लिए, so they gave us an education system so that we can perform certain works. And sadly, although some changes are happening now with the new national education policy, we are continuing with that. And I had this very old friend. He's so old, he's dead now. His name is Aristotle, and he once said that self-awareness is the beginning of all wisdom. And unfortunately, if I ask you guys, you must be from management background, accounts. My good friend Dr. Jagdish Mehta is also here. Welcome, sir. And how many notebooks you have filled on different subjects? Like maths, accounts, political science, so many different subjects. We keep on filling notebooks. But the most important subject, unfortunately, despite being, spoken about in Vedas, in all our ancient scripts and by top philosophers like Chanakya, Aristotle, our modern education system is looking away from that most important subject, from which you can get this result of not being labeled. Can someone tell me what is that subject? जो सबसे important है? Sorry? Krishna consciousness. Okay, so maybe it is somewhere there because I don't understand specifically about it, but I think you are in the right direction. Anyone else? If you can raise your hand, since I am in DAV Sector 10 Chandigarh, I expect more response. I expect that you will put me on toes.
Sir,
Yeah.
maybe the labels given to us by the society, which we are given the tags like.
Alright. So it is a result of something, it is a result of, basically it is a result of certain, lack of certain understanding, certain subject. So I'm trying to bring you guys to that very, very important subject, which you are not studying the way it should be studied. Like how you study maths. Today if I ask you what is 7 into 7, everyone has that answer in their head, right? Everyone knows the answer. Why you know that answer? Because you have practiced maths. You started with number system and some people went on to partial differentiation, integration, and you have achieved certain level of proficiency in doing mathematics because you did it in a very structured manner and our education system taught you to do so. But why? The most important subject, if you can, I just want to know if you can guess it right. What is that subject I am talking about? कोई और guess करेगा? Science is not being taught here?
Properly.
Alright. Okay. Anything else? Science could be, okay, not be. Yeah? General awareness. What's your name? Arpita. Big hand for Arpita. Arpita, it's a wrong answer. If someone else can tell. Psychology? Alright. You can clap for her also. Okay. The answer would be, self-awareness. We don't study ourselves. आपने आज तक कोई नोटबुक बनाई है जिसमें सब्जेक्ट पे आपका नाम, जैसे मैथ, साइंस, साइकोलॉजी, साइंस, इन सब पे आपने वगैरह वगैरह, इन सब पे आपने नोटबुक्स बनाई हैं, but you have not made a notebook on yourself. And actually, because these times, you have to give empirical data. We all in the world of big data, और आप सब लोग भी मेरी बात नहीं मानेंगे जब तक if I don't give you empirical evidence. So there was a study done by Corn Carey Institute. It's a financial boutique, investment bank institute in US, and by David and Dana, because I don't remember their last name. Fortunately, it was in sync, so I can remember their first names. So they did a study on better returns on self-awareness. So the study proved that companies which are being run by self-aware leaders and companies which hire self-aware people, they outperform the market. They did a study on Fortune 500 companies. And even people who are self-aware, in the first 10 years of their career, they on an average make 41% more money than people with similar skill sets. Everything else being the same, just the level of self-awareness. And after 10 years, that difference is even higher. Because जो लोग self-aware नहीं है, वो top पे पहुंचने के उनके chances बहुत कम हो जाते हैं. But unfortunately, हम एक structured तरीके से self-awareness नहीं सिखाते हैं. और जब हम सेल्फ अवेयर नहीं होते हैं, and if you look at people in any field, let it be politics, let it be business, let it be academics, let it be, even in any role, people who are, even in your relationship, if you are not self-aware, you will not be able to give your best. You will not be able to identify your strengths, your weaknesses, what are the pitfalls you should avoid. So people who are at the top of any game, जो लोग किसी भी field में top पे, absolutely top of the top, if you look at people like Virat Kohli, Djokovic, people like Mukesh Ambani, even Narendra Modi, if you think about him, those guys are absolutely self-aware of what they need to do and what they need not to do. It's very easy to explain from the sportsman perspective, because they are very conscious of what muscles to develop, what are the, areas where they need to improve, what should be their diet. So they become more and more self-aware, they outperform others. So if you have to be really at the top of anything, and I'm not just talking, not everyone will become a tennis player or cricketer, most of us will be into different professions. There, if you are self-aware, right? Because self-awareness put a spotlight on areas of improvement as well as your strengths. And when you are not self-aware, it is very easy to label you. And that is why it is very, very important. मैं इसलिए कहता हूँ notebook लगा के structured तरीके से अपने आप को समझना ज़रूरी है. It's not like having a cup of coffee with a friend, और हम कई बार बोलते हैं किस रास्ते में जा रहे हैं, क्या कर रहे हैं, It could be coffee or it could be beer also, whatever. So we sometimes think about things, but we don't go about it in a more structured manner. And generally that is where the gap is. Thank you. So it is very, very important कि जो सबसे important subject जो आपको पढ़ना है वो है self-awareness. It will improve your chances of success. And it is not just about, success. जब आप label हो जाते हो ना, sometimes people are labeled as naughty, mischievous, non-serious, average. Even sometimes, even if you are labeled as a genius, it is not necessarily a good thing. When you get labeled, you get negated. And then you lose your sovereignty. Because हमें क्योंकि अपने बारे में पता नहीं है, क्योंकि हमने सोचा नहीं है, तो जो भी इमेज हमें दी जाती है ना, हम जनरली ट्राई टू प्रोटेक्ट दैट इमेज इवन इफ इट इज नॉट इन not in our best interest. In companies, I see executives who are seen as jokesters, buffoons of the company. उनको भी पता है कि भाई bosses are not taking them seriously, पर उन पे इतना pressure है to act like a joker, they act like a joker. Although it is not good for them. किसी की image बन जाती है क्लासरूम में कि ये क्लासरूम का बदमाश है. अब उसको पता है मेरे को पढ़ना चाहिए, पर जब भी क्लास में टीचर को तंग करना है, हर कोई एक्सपेक्टेडली उसकी तरफ देख रहा है, उसको ऐसे ही चलना पड़ेगा. Right, so you become slave to that image. So it is very, very important that you don't become a slave to any world view of yours. You create your own view, and that by deeper understanding. For that you have to understand few things about yourself. You have to understand your values. I don't mean moral values, I mean what you value in life. Whether someone might value freedom, someone might value creativity, someone might value structured life, someone might value recognition, someone might value service to others. So you have to understand, you have to make a list of top 5 values, and once you understand your values and needs, what you need in life, you can choose professions out of it. Let's say if someone wants to be of social service, someone wants to contribute in others' life, that is something important to someone, right? You can do it in multiple ways. You can do it by becoming a politician. Now everyone is laughing in their head. You can do it by becoming a civil servant. You can do it by becoming a teacher, right? And you can start an NGO also. There are so many ways. But first you need to understand, what are your values, how you value yourself. And once you start understanding yourself, you get your sovereignty back. Because otherwise, if you are not aware of yourself, let's suppose, all of us are very aware about our certain characteristics. Let's say I talk about physical characteristics. If I ask someone, can I have one volunteer just at your seat only? Yeah, all right. What's your good name?
Ojaswini Verma.
All right, Miss Verma, because मेरे को पहला word सुना नहीं. So
Ojaswini Verma.
Ojaswini, all right. Ojaswini, what is your height?
5'3".
5'3" means 5 kilometer and 300 meters.
No, 5'3".
All right. So देखो आपको हमेशा टीचर्स ने समझाया था कि भाई हमेशा यूनिट्स यूज करो, टीचर्स की बात हमेशा सुननी चाहिए. ये पहला लेसन है इसका. All right. So let's say if I try to convince you that you are not 5 feet 3 inches, you are let's say 4 feet 10 inches or 6 feet 3 inches, would you agree with me? However, how much experience I might have?
If you have that scale, then I can be convinced.
You can be convinced that you are not. But let's say practically you are 5 feet 3 inches. It has been done on standard scales, right?
Yes.
It is very hard to convince you anything else.
Yes.
Right? And we have to change the whole. Of course, we have to change the whole assumptions. But let's say, if I talk to you about Ojaswini, that if you tell me 3 of your strengths with example, or let's say someone who you look up to and they consistently tell you that Ojaswini, you are this kind of person, which you might not agree initially, but over a period of time, it is very easy to convince. You might think that this person is a well-wisher, this person is more experienced, and you might agree with that. So if I ask you, Ojaswini, tell me 3 of your biggest strengths that will make you successful in life, and not just 3 positive words. I know you will come with 3 positive words. I want 3 strengths with example when you have shown that strength.
First is hospitality.
All right.
I managed difficult things when my mother was not around and few guests arrived out of nowhere.
All right. All right, fair enough.
And
Look, Ojaswini, I now, first you said hospitality, and then you said that you managed when things happened. So that means that you are adaptable. That shows more in that direction rather than being hospitable. Because when you said somehow they appeared from nowhere, it doesn't show your hospitality that much, right? But again, look, 5 feet 3 inches, there was no doubt left that you know your height. But when it comes to your strength, you are not able to convince me on the first strength itself, right? And how being hospitable is moving you towards your career goals. How is it linked to your career goals?
it is about management of the things.
No.
You can
Then you should say
communicate-
your management skills,
Yeah.
right? So management skill, I should agree.
Yeah.
All right. Look, it is very easy to convince her in 1 minute. Convince her that her strength is not hospitality but management skills. So that is the point I'm trying to make. You know, it is management skills as well as hospitality. All right. So the point I'm trying to make is, until you are not self-aware, it is very easy to, you know, accept a worldview and then become like that. So it is very very important कि आप अपने आप को भी उतने स्ट्रक्चर तरीके से देखो. मैं नोटबुक की बात, एक मेरी रिक्वेस्ट आप लोगों से ये होगी कि जैसे ही आप यहाँ से बाहर जाएं, एक अच्छी सी नोटबुक खरीदें. What I generally like is an A5 size notebook with plain papers. I like them off-white. You know, it could be your choice. And a nicely done notebook that you can sit in a coffee shop and still be proud to open it. That will be a very good investment. Why I say you should have notebook when you start studying yourself. Now imagine, आपको बचपन से मैथमेटिक्स पढ़ाया जाता, कभी पेन पेपर ना यूज करने दिया जाता, राइट, और कोई नोट्स ना लेने दिए जाते, तो आज आपका मैथमेटिक्स लेवल सेम नहीं ना होना था. It would have been slightly lower, right? So it is very very important. और जो हम empirically proven है कि सबसे ज़्यादा आपको ना तो सैलरी बढ़नी है, ना केमिस्ट्री जानने से, ना मैथमेटिक्स जानने से, सबसे ज़्यादा बढ़नी है अपने आप को जानने से. And if you really think about it, you will observe, जो लोग self aware होते हैं उनको पता होता है मेरे को किस बात पे गुस्सा आना है, उसको अवॉइड करते हैं, right? People who are self aware उनको पता है कि ये खा के मेरा पेट खराब होना है, वो उसको अवॉइड करते हैं. अदरवाइज लोग खाते रहते हैं, पता नहीं यार पेट क्यों खराब हो रहा है. सो सेल्फ अवेयरनेस इज समथिंग दैट इज हेल्पफुल इन एवरी एस्पेक्ट ऑफ योर लाइफ. ऑलराइट, तो मैं अगर आपको लेवल नहीं होना है, राइट, एंड इफ यू वांट टू बी योर ओन ब्रांड, हम उस पर भी आएंगे, क्योंकि कल डीएवी कॉलेज 10 से कुछ बच्चे एमबीए के हमारे ऑफिस आए हुए थे, एंड आई स्पोक टू देम दैट व्हाट इज अ ब्रांड, एंड सो वी विल डिस्कस दैट पार्ट ऑल्सो. क्योंकि लेबलिंग नहीं करनी है, इसका मतलब थोड़ा कि आप बिना लेबल का प्रोडक्ट बनोगे. यू आर अ ब्रांड, यू आर अ प्रोडक्ट. So what kind of product you want to be? It should be a derivative of your own values, right? Your own goals and your own needs, right? It should not be a result of क्योंकि किसी ने आपको कन्विंस कर दिया कि आप बहुत हॉस्पिटेबल हो या आप बहुत मैनेजमेंट स्किल्स में अच्छे हो, right? There should be empirical evidence behind it. तो मेरी अगेन रिक्वेस्ट है कि यहाँ से बाहर निकलते ही प्लीज एक अच्छी सी नोटबुक खरीदिएगा, उस पे सब्जेक्ट पे अपना नाम लिखिएगा, right? And of course in this session I would like it to be rather than a journal discussion or, you know, a principle discussion only, I would like to give you some workable exercises. If you can use those exercises, it could help you in future, and it gives results immediately. I tell you, you know, from every aspect, from your health aspect, from your academics, your professional aspect, or even from the aspect of your you know, health or relationships or, you know, financial success. इमीडिएट रिजल्ट्स आने शुरू होते हैं अगर आप कंसिस्टेंटली अपने ऊपर काम करना शुरू करते हो. यू हैव टू स्टार्ट लुकिंग एट सक्सेस फ्रॉम द इनवर्ड पर्सपेक्टिव रादर देन आउटवर्ड पर्सपेक्टिव. और जब गोल्स की क्लैरिटी आती है ना, तो एक्शन भी होता है, अदरवाइज एक्शन ही नहीं हो पाता. यहाँ पे हर कोई सक्सेस अचीव करना चाहता है. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू वांट अ गुड करियर? सारे. आई एम टेलिंग यू, नन ऑफ यू आर एवर गोइंग टू गेट अ गुड करियर. यहाँ पे किसी ने ये तो नहीं बोला था मोटिवेशनल लेक्चर देने आया. गुड, ठीक है. I'm here to tell you the truth. None of you is ever going to get a good career. Why I'm saying that? Great career ahead. So why will you not get a good career? मैं तो कह रहा हूँ कि some might say कि I need a good career. हमें सारी बचपन में सिखाया जाता है have a good life, good house and everything. My question is, I think we should appreciate this guy. You know, he at least, you know, saw the title and moved in the right direction. That is very good smartness. Big hand for him. And he has slightly ruined my joke, but I will still try to go ahead. So my point is, okay, that point is okay, we should go for great career. पर मैं कह रहा हूँ कि good career क्यों नहीं मिलना? It is better, of course. That point is taken. So I can't argue with that. Why I'm saying you will never get a good career. तो ओके, सेटिस्फैक्शन नहीं मिलती है. ऑलराइट, एनीवन एल्स?
Because we are not self-aware.
वी आर नॉट सेल्फ अवेयर. ये तो हर प्रॉब्लम की जड़ है. ये बिल्कुल सही पकड़ा आपने. ऑलराइट, एनीथिंग एल्स? आंसर बड़ा बेसिक है. एक गैस और ले लेते हैं. समवन फ्रॉम दिस साइड.
हमारी एक्सपेक्टेशंस मैच नहीं करती. जो हमारा लास्ट करियर बनता है पर एक्सपेक्टेड से कम होता है वो.
ठीक है, मैं कह रहा हूँ किसी को मिलना ही नहीं है. किसी की तो मैच करती होगी, कोई तो सेटिस्फाई हो जाएगा.
We are not far-sighted.
We are not far-sighted, all right. Some people might be.
You may be, but if they are not, then they will remain in that, you know, shell.
All right. So, आप बोलिए प्रेसिडेंट साहब.
सर हमें मालूम ही नहीं होता कि हमें आगे करना क्या है, वो हर साल चेंज होता रहता है, हम ये करेंगे ये करेंगे ये करेंगे।
बिग हैंड यार, बिग हैंड। प्रेसिडेंट कुछ भी बोले तालियां मार दो। आंसर चाहिए कि और लाइक द सिंपल रीजन इज देयर इज नथिंग लाइक अ गुड करियर। मिलेगा कहां से? जो चीज होगी तो मिलेगी ना। देखो दो चीजें होती हैं यहाँ, तो होती है ग्रेट करियर जो साहब ने बोला था, व्हाट्स योर नेम? अमन नैन। अमन नैन जी ने जो बोला था, यहाँ तो होता है ग्रेट करियर। और गुड का ऑपोजिट क्या होता है? नहीं, गुड का ऑपोजिट ग्रेट ही होता है। देखो गुड इज द बिगेस्ट एनिमी ऑफ ग्रेट। यहाँ तो होती है जॉब, और जॉब बताऊं क्या होती है? क्या होती है जॉब?
9 to 5।
9 to 5 नहीं होती भाई, इतनी अच्छी लाइफ कहाँ होती है 9 to 5? क्या बात है लोग। जॉब होती है जहाँ पे आपका जाने का दिल ना करे, जहाँ पे आपको आपके बॉस की शक्ल पसंद नहीं होती, बॉस को आपकी शक्ल पसंद नहीं होती, और आप चुपचाप naukri.com पे एक और नौकरी देख रहे हो। That is a job. You know, when I was a kid, I was a very naughty kid. You would have figured out by now. So मैं जब भी शाम को मैं पापा ने मेरे आना होता था तो मेरे मम्मी कहते थे कि भाई तेरे आगे हाथ जोड़े, तेरे पापा ना बड़े परेशान होकर घर पे आते हैं, तू कोई शरारत मत करती। ऐसा बड़े लोगों को बोलते ही होंगे अभी भी। तो मैं कहता था कि रोज परेशान होने कहाँ चले जाते हैं। तो बेसिकली दैट इज अ जॉब, यू नो। एंड so that I also went through job. My first placement after IIM Ahmedabad, although I'm a finance guy, so I was into derivatives trading in Singapore. और मेरे बॉस का नाम होता था बैंगन, not Panjab, he was a Chinese guy, बैंगन, and so he will वो मेरे को देख के घूरता रहा, उसको पता था इसको नींद आ रही है, कर कुछ नहीं रहा है। मेरा काम क्या होता था, I used to do derivatives trading. तो मेरे को टोक्यो एक्सचेंज से लेके शिकागो बोर्ड ऑफ ट्रेड तक सारी स्टॉक मार्केट्स देखनी होती थी, और उसके बेसिस पे ये बताना होता था कि सोयाबीन ऑयल खरीदना के बेचना है, ये मेरा काम था। एंड बट यू नो मैं उसमें इसलिए चला गया क्योंकि मैं somehow, कई बार आप कई चीज़ों में अच्छे होते हो, बट डजंट मीन दैट इज योर पैशन और दैट इज योर वैल्यू और नीड। आई एम really good at mathematics. I can analyze things, and so I took a finance job because it was the best paying job. And despite that, I was about to get fired, or so the only reason was because it was not something that I wanted to do. सारा दिन screens देखते रहो, that was not the kind of person I was. And बैंगन जी ने मेरे को fire करना ही था, पर उससे पहले fortunately I found something else, and the ma'am that mentioned about that technology company, पर वहाँ पे भी मैंने कुछ बहुत अच्छा नहीं किया. So the point is that it is very important that you understand who you are. Until you don't know that, you will not be able to find a sustained success and happiness. It is the result of, and it is very important. You know, मैंने जैसे बोला मैं mathematics में अच्छा था, so it was a comfort zone for me that I want to do what is comfortable for me, and you should relish being uncomfortable. That is something very important for, you know, being successful. Once you understand, देखो self awareness में ये नहीं है कि सिर्फ अपनी strengths और अपनी तारीफें लिखती रहनी है उस notebook में. You have to tell yourself that what kind of, you know, मैं क्या superlatives use करूँ, कि आप, you know, you are a jealous kind, you are not fair, you lie, you know, gossip about people, you are lazy, right? Yes, you are not courageous enough, and you are not genuine. ये सारी चीज़ें अपने आप को बोलना, या आप मेहनत नहीं करते हो, ये सारी चीज़ें बोलना अपने आप को टफ है, but you have to be brave enough to tell yourself this thing should also be part of that notebook, कि भाई कौन से एरियाज में improve करना है। देखो आप अच्छे कम्युनिकेशन स्किल सीख सकते हो, कैसे ओवर ड्रेसिंग सीख सकते हो, हाउ टू शेक हैंड ये सीख सकते हो, बट रियल सस्टेनेबल सक्सेस डज नॉट कम फ्रॉम पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट. व्हाई डू यू थिंक सो मेनी पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट प्रोग्राम्स इन कॉलेजेस फेल? बिकॉज दैट इज नॉट द फंडामेंटल वे फॉर सक्सेस. द फंडामेंटल वे ऑफ सक्सेस इज थ्रू कैरेक्टर डेवलपमेंट, by being honest, by being courageous, by being fair, by having concern for others. You know, that gives you more sustainable happiness and success in life. And you have to develop ये सारी चीजें, you know, will power, patience, ये सब क्या है? Qualities? Wrong. ये सारे muscles हैं. They need to be exercised. जैसे हम कई बार ना अपने आप से ऐसे बात करते हैं कि I cannot get up in the morning, मैं मीठा नहीं छोड़ सकता, मैं यहाँ, you know, but we make those statements. Mathematics is not for everyone. Sales is hard. When we keep on, you know, saying such statements to ourselves, we basically lose that opportunity to improve on areas which are actually fundamentally important. किसको सेल नहीं करनी है लाइफ में? Everyone has to be a salesman, right? You have to sell something at certain stage. You have to negotiate sometime. Every day you negotiate, starting from what will you have in breakfast to, you know, what Ukraine and Russia will be doing. negotiation happens at every stage. You have to be courageous, because if you are not courageous, courage is the building block of every other quality. You cannot be fair, you cannot be a team player, you cannot be a good son, daughter, you cannot be a good friend, right? You cannot get up in winters early morning if you are not courageous. So courage has to, again, it is a muscle that needs to be developed. You can't say, we journalism, some people are born courageous, some people are not. No, it's not like that. Courage needs to be developed over a period of time. तो जब आप लिस्ट लिखोगे ना, इसीलिए मैं कहता हूँ नोटबुक पे जब आप लिखोगे कि इन चीज़ों पे मेरे को काम करने की जरूरत है, ये मेरी स्ट्रेंथ है, ये मेरी नीड्स के बेसिस, और जब आप ये सेल्फ अवेयरनेस करोगे ना, तो आपके करियर गोल्स अपने आप अपीयर होंगे. सडनली दे विल इवॉल्व, दे विल अपीयर इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू. हम अब अभी मेरे दिमाग में ये आइडिया आया, डोंट नो हाउ मच यू एग्री विद इट. मैं अभी सोच रहा था कि जब पुराने टाइम पे लोग वो करते थे, यज्ञ या पूजा करते थे, और उनके सामने भगवान प्रकट होते थे और उनको एक वरदान देते थे. वो क्या था? आप आत्म मंथन कर रहे हो, राइट? एंड व्हाट केम इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू इन द टर्म्स ऑफ वरदान वाज योर करियर गोल्स, व्हाट यू कैन अचीव, व्हाट यू कुड हैव डन. सो बेसिकली जब आप अपने आप को, अगेन इट इज नॉट अ वेरी वेल थॉट आइडिया, आई नीड टू थिंक मोर अबाउट इट, क्योंकि आइडिया मेरे को पहली बार आज यहीं पे आया. थैंक यू, I appreciate that. So basically, once you understand yourself, suddenly your goals, your vision, what you want to in life, what you want to do in life, आप लाइफ में कैसे खुश रहोगे. And again, happiness is, I think, sometimes overrated. मैं खुश रहने का मतलब ये नहीं कि आप हमेशा खुश रहोगे. आजकल लोगों को ये बोला जाता है, chase your happiness. You cannot be always happy. I was giving one talk long time back. And someone kid asked me that I have regrets in my life. How should I not have? कितने लोगों को यहाँ पे लाइफ में regrets होते हैं, है ना? और कितने लोग चाहते हैं कि ये regrets ना हो? Alright. देखो, regret is a very very genuine emotion. You should not get consumed with it. आप हर वक्त खुश नहीं हो सकते. अगर कुछ गलतियाँ की हैं तो उसका regret होना चाहिए, पर उससे lesson सीखने चाहिए. So don't chase happiness, chase responsibility. क्योंकि जब आप responsibility chase करोगे, I'm trying to give you an equation, how things are derived. जब आप responsibility chase करोगे, आप अपने अंदर capabilities build करोगे. पहले अपने लिए capability to do something good for yourself, because start with yourself. Then जब वो capacity और बढ़ेगी, consistently आप अपने ऊपर काम करोगे, work for your family, people around you. And when that capacity is even increased further, do something for your community. Right? That will give you sustained, happiness, better chance at happiness. और उसके बावजूद भी तकलीफें आएंगी. और जब आप सेल्फ अवेयरनेस से, पैशन से, जब आप तकलीफें भी होगे ना, वो आपको तकलीफ नहीं लगेगी, वो सिर्फ बाहर वाले लोगों को, यार कितनी धक्के खा रहा है, कितनी मुश्किल उठा रहा है, इसने अपनी जॉब छोड़ दी, इसने ये कर दिया. बट यू विल बी फीलिंग अ हाई. You will be going through that flow of achieving that excellence or whatever your goal is, because you are clear this is what you want to do. क्योंकि otherwise, हमने बात ये थोड़ी सी डाइग्रेस कर दी. हमने शुरू कहाँ से की थी? मैं एक सवाल आपसे पूछूंगा. यहाँ पे कितने लोग हैं जो ये प्लान बनाते हैं कि कल सुबह से पक्का पढ़ाई शुरू कर देंगे या एक्सरसाइज शुरू कर देंगे, और जो इन प्लान्स को पूरा कर पाते हैं, राइट? अब यही चैलेंज है. फर्क क्या है? व्हाई इट डज नॉट हैपन? क्योंकि वो गोल्स अभी तक हमने अपने नहीं माने. वी डोंट थिंक. और देखो, जब तक अभी तक वो गोल्स, वो बताओ क्या हमारे लिए शुड है. वी शुड बी सक्सेसफुल, वी शुड बी हैप्पी, वी शुड बी पोलाइट टू आवर टीचर्स, वी शुड नॉट फाइट विद आवर पेरेंट्स, वी शुड नॉट बी जेलस. जब तक वो शुड होंगे ना, आपके ब्रेन ने आपको करने नहीं देने. अब जब सुबह का अलार्म बजता है, आपने अलार्म लगा कि सुबह 6 बजे उठना है, तो आपका ब्रेन आपको एक स्टोरी सुनाता है. वो आपको ये कहता है कि तू बस आधा घंटा और सो जा, फिर 2 घंटे, है ना, 2 घंटे बाद, क्योंकि इसको पता है यार, इसको ये तो बोल नहीं सकते कि तू लाइफ में बर्बाद हो जा. ब्रेन इज अ सेपरेट एंटिटी. उसको पता है कि लाइफ में अच्छा करना चाहता है, पर मेहनत भी नहीं करना चाहता, तो इसको कैसे हम पोस्टपोन करते हैं. तो आपको ऐसे करता रहता है, और आप फिर एंड में आपके कॉलेज का टाइम हो जाता है, तब आप उठ जाते हैं. क्योंकि उससे पहले तक जो उठने की विंडो थी ना, वो शुड थी, और जब कॉलेज का टाइम आता है वो मस्ट हो जाती है. तो जब तक गोल्स को हम शुड से मस्ट नहीं कर लेते, राइट, we will not achieve those goals. Your brain will not allow you to achieve those goals. It is very very important कि आप अपने goals को should से must करो. So today, I'm going to close this session with giving you a couple of tips जो आपने पहले सुनी भी हो शायद, कि कैसे goals को should से must करते हैं. देखो, self awareness पे तो मैंने आपको एक चीज बता दी. My mom was asking me once, when I was working earlier, I was just telling ma'am that till October last year I was working in a company, and since October I've become an entrepreneur. And so my mom used to ask me कि किसी दिन तो न्यूज़ चैनल चला रहा होता है, किसी दिन तो हॉस्पिटल चला रहा होता है, किसी दिन यूनिवर्सिटियाँ चलाता है, तो व्हाट डू यू डू ओवर देयर, है ना, वो देखो पैसे किस चीज़ के देते हैं. तो मैंने तो उनको बोला कि मैं जोक बड़े अच्छे सुनाता हूँ इसलिए वो मेरे को पैसे देते हैं. तो मैंने कहा कि मैं कपिल शर्मा हूँ अपने ग्रुप का. But the point is, then I thought about it. What is my role? Because I don't sign on any files. I don't do anything. I still got paid probably more than a cardiac surgeon in our group. So I realized that what I do is I have this ability to foresee future. I'm better able to tell my company, my people, that this world will look like in next 25 years. And are we ready for that? And what world will look like for you in next 25 years, it will depend on your routines, how you spend your day. अगर हम life is all about the kind of choices we make. सुबह का जब अलार्म बजेगा, चॉइस होती है उठना है कि स्नूज बटन दबाना है. So once goals become must, your choices started to change. They start to change once you realize this is what I really want and you are convinced about it. And it doesn't happen every day. हर बार आप perfect choice नहीं लोगे, पर धीरे धीरे आपकी percentage of better choices start to change. अब अभी आप लेट्स से कि बिल्कुल ही नहीं उठते थे, धीरे धीरे हफ्ते में 2 दिन 3 दिन एंड इट्स स्लोली. अभी आप हफ्ते में रोज लेट्स से आउटडोर ईटिंग करते हो, धीरे धीरे 4 दिन 3 दिन 2 दिन. सो यू कीप ऑन रिड्यूसिंग द नेगेटिव्स एवरी डे बाय मेकिंग बेटर चॉइसेस एंड कीप ऑन इंप्रूविंग द नेगेटिव्स. और जब हम अपने आप को जानते नहीं है, जब हमें लोगों ने लेबल कर दिया होता है, देन वी टेक द इजीएस्ट चॉइस एंड दैट चॉइस इज टू बी द विक्टिम. कि उसकी वजह से नहीं हुआ, ऐसे नहीं हुआ, अब हम क्या करें, अब लॉकडाउन लग गए, राइट. सो इट बिकम्स वेरी वेरी इजी. So coming back to just to be so that I don't take a lot of your time, couple of exercises I want to give you. One is SWOT. SWOT is a very powerful. आपने सुना होगा SWOT के बारे में, राइट. सुन के क्या किया फिर, एग्जामिनेशन में लिखा है ना. यहाँ पे कितने लोग हैं जिन्होंने अपना SWOT एनालिसिस किया है 2 बार? हाँ, देखो SWOT is not a one time exercise. SWOT is something that needs to be done regularly because you evolve. Right, and SWOT is not just an academic exercise. It needs some thought and depth into it. Right, you have to spend days on it. देखो, चाहे इंडियन आर्मी हो, एप्पल हो, गूगल हो, कोई भी टॉप इंडिविजुअल्स हो, they do their SWOT analysis. It's a very simple and powerful tool. Yeah.
What is SWOT?
All right. तो मेरे को लगा सबको पता है. SWOT is strength, weaknesses, opportunities and threat analysis. It is also called internal and external analysis. Right. So you understand what your strength and weaknesses are. And as I said to Miss Verma, as I said to Ojaswini, that you have to do it with empirical evidence. ये नहीं कि जो 3 positive word अपने बारे में आप खुद ही सोचे जा रहे हो, that is not your strength. There should be empirical evidence. People around you should consistently be saying, okay, you are wonderful at this thing, you are amazing at this thing, right? And similarly with weaknesses, take feedback very very positively. Understand the opportunities around you and understand the threats that will stop you from achieving that. जब आप लिख के करते हो, उसमें डिटेल आती है, उसमें सैंक्टिटी आती है, लिखने से उस प्रोसेस में सैंक्टिटी आती है, एंड सडनली योर माइंड सबकॉन्शियसली टेल्स यू दैट ओके, आई हैव टू टेक एक्शन ऑन इट, राइट. सेकंड थिंग इज कि गोल्स को अपने सामने रखना. मैंने आपको बताया आपका सबसे बड़ा दुश्मन आपके सिर में बैठा हुआ है, आपका अपना दिमाग. वो आपको जो आपके लिए अच्छा है और जरूरी है वो आपको भुलाएगा. वो अगर आपने सोचा है कि मेरे को फिट होना है, राइट, या मेरे को अपने करियर में ये बनना है, पर वो आपका ध्यान लगवाएगा अलग चीज़ों की तरफ. वो आपको ये याद दिलाएगा कि उसने ऐसा कैसे बोल दिया, वो दैट इज ही इज नॉट अ गुड पर्सन, उसने मेरे बारे में ऐसी बातें चल रही हैं, मेरे को तो ये चाहिए. तो वो आपका ध्यान उस तरफ लगाएगा, विच इज द ईजियर थिंग टू डू, जिसके लिए एक्शन ना करना पड़े, क्योंकि उसकी एवोल्यूशन ऐसे हुई है. इट वांट्स यू टू स्टे पुट, योर ब्रेन वांट्स यू टू स्टे पुट. क्योंकि जब हम आज से कई हजार साल पहले जंगलों में रहते थे तो रास्ते से भटकना वाज डेंजरस. तो आपके ब्रेन की लाखों सालों में ऐसी एवोल्यूशन हो गई कि बस वहीं पे रहो और जिंदा रहो. दैट इज इट्स प्राइमरी गोल. तो उसको अगर ऐसा लगता है कि अगर क्लास में मैम ने एक क्वेश्चन पूछा, हाथ खड़ा करने से पहले वो आपके दिमाग में एक स्पॉटलाइट डालता है कि यार तेरा मजाक उड़ जाएगा, बाद में पूछ ली, फिर समझ लेंगे, ऑनलाइन सर्च कर लेंगे, और अब अपना डाउट ही नहीं पूछते, और बाद में वो भूल जाता है. लेटर बिकम्स नेवर. So it is very very important you understand how your brain works and you put your goals right in front of you. It could be a fun exercise for you to do. आप अपने लिए perfect day assume करो. Today is 4th of March 2022. Imagine 4th of March 2032. Imagine that day. where will you get up, in which city, which kind of house, right? What will you look like? I'm not talking about superficial, I mean how healthy you are, how fit you are. Keep focus on that, what you eat, right? What will you have in your breakfast? Imagine your dream car, imagine its interiors, imagine its brand, right? Imagine what music you will be listening to, imagine the office you will be going to. 4th of March generally इस टाइम पे सबकी सैलरियाँ भी आ रही होंगी. Imagine you getting a message that what your salary has checked into, or if you are an entrepreneur or someone else, और अगर आप politician हो तो cash में होगा सब कुछ. So basically imagine in absolute detail, put more colors into it, and then imagine you meeting a friend. What will you have with that friend, right? How will they look at you? Imagine you coming back to DAV college. How will your principal sir treat you, right? What kind of reception you will get, or what will you do for your juniors, right? What will you do for your family? Imagine that imagine that perfect day. Write it down in as much detail as possible, or draw it if you are a good artist, right? And put it in front of you. क्योंकि आपका ब्रेन आपको आपके गोल्स, आज आप शायद मोटिवेटेड हो, पर मोटिवेशन डजंट वर्क. आपके गोल्स आपको भुलाने की कोशिश करेगा. आई विल कम टू व्हाई आई एम सेइंग मोटिवेशन डजंट वर्क. होगा क्या कि आपके गोल्स आपको भूल जाएंगे. हम कितने लोग यहाँ पे जिम की फीस भरते हैं पर जिम नहीं जाते हैं? मेरी एज ग्रुप के तो यहाँ पे सारे लोग ये करते होंगे कि फीस पूरे साल की देते हैं और चौथे दिन नहीं जाते हैं, है ना? ऑब्वियस है. हाँ, तो पहले दिन हम फीस देते क्यों? क्योंकि उस दिन हमने ऋतिक रोशन की मूवी देखी होती है. मैं भाई ये कर सकता तो मैं भी कर सकता हूँ. पर चौथे दिन हमें भूल जाता है कि हम फिट क्यों हो रहे थे. हमारा ब्रेन हमें किसी और चीजों पे लगा लेता है, विच आर इजी थिंग्स टू डू, जिसमें बहुत ज्यादा जोर नहीं लगाना पड़ता. एंड वी फॉरगेट अबाउट इट. इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. अपने गोल्स को अगर अचीव करना है तो अपने गोल्स को अपने सामने रखो. दे शुड बी राइट इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू ऑल द टाइम. दे शुड बी रिटन एवरीवेयर. दे शुड बी इन योर नोटबुक. दे शुड बी ऑन योर रीडिंग टेबल. घर में बैठ के जो आपका रूम है आपके सामने होने चाहिए. आपको याद आता रहेगा कि आपको अपनी लाइफ में करना क्या है. These are couple of things. There are so many other things also, but since we only have limited time, so I'm giving you with these two things. आप इसको जरूर implement करना, and you will see the results in next few days itself. And goals सिर्फ पढ़ाई के नहीं, goals कि आप किस तरह के इंसान हो, कितने लोगों की हेल्प करते हो. जब आपसे छोटे आपको मिलते हैं तो क्या उनको चॉकलेट खिलाते हो? क्या कोई दोस्त मिलता है तो 500 का नोट अंदर वाली पॉकेट में तो नहीं डाल लेते? बी ए जेनरस पर्सन. ये सारे इंडिकेटर्स हैं सक्सेस के, राइट? आपकी हेल्थ कैसी है, आपकी पढ़ाई में, जो भी आपका प्रोफेशन में, आर यू सीन एज अ बेंचमार्क इन दैट फील्ड? ये सारे इंडिकेटर्स हैं सक्सेस के. ये सारी चेकलिस्ट अपनी बना के रखो कि इन फील्ड्स में मैं किस किस डायरेक्शन में जा रहा हूं. ये आपको बहुत हेल्प करेगा, राइट? और मैं एक चीज और बोलनी थी, मैंने अभी I forgot about it. I wanted to talk about something. हाँ, motivation doesn't work. Incentivization work. आप सब मोटिवेटेड होते हो कि मेरे को लाइफ में कुछ करना है, but it has to be turned into incentivization. कितने लोगों ने यहाँ पे लाइफ में प्लान बनाया कि रोज 5-5 घंटे पढ़ना है और कुछ अचीव करना और ये मार्क्स लेने हैं. Now imagine I tell you कि जो भी अगले हफ्ते 5 घंटे पढ़ेगा उसे मैं iPhone 13 दूंगा. कितने iPhone 13 चल रहा ना आजकल? हाँ, तो कितने लोग पढ़ लेंगे रोज एक हफ्ता 5 घंटे?
5 घंटे जरूरी ना हो, अगर फोकस ही 2 घंटे में बनता है उतना तो क्यों करें 5 घंटे?
नहीं, वो मैंने तो कहा iPhone 13 5 घंटे पढ़ने में मिलना है. वो चल देखो, यू आर अ स्पेशल पर्सन यार. मैं आम बंदों की हमारे जैसे लोगों की बात कर रहा हूँ. द पॉइंट आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक इज कि आप काम करोगे ना, क्योंकि गोल क्लियर है. तो जब आप गोल अपने सामने रखते हो ना, वो iPhone 13 की तरह बिल्कुल टेंजिबल फॉर्म में आपको नजर आता है. उसकी जितनी पिक्चर क्लियर होगी, आपके बेटर चांस है कि जब अलार्म बजेगा आप उठ जाओगे. दैट इज द क्रक्स ऑफ इट. एंड इट ऑल स्टार्ट्स विद अगेन सेल्फ अवेयरनेस. अपने आप को जानोगे तो ये सारी चीजें स्टार्ट वहीं से होगी. सो यू विल डू वन थिंग आफ्टर यू गेट आउट ऑफ दिस रूम. व्हाट विल यू डू?
Buy a notebook.
Buy a notebook. I really hope you do that. And if you have any questions before I close, any doubts, any questions you want to ask, yeah, please.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir. Firstly, I really admire whatever you've said, and I heard it properly. My question is I've heard many people say that foresight is a good tool, but looking too far in the future can somehow lead to loss of present. And I want to ask, I read a book by Dale Carnegie which said living in day-tight compartments every day, focusing on the day and having a near-sighted goal rather than looking too far into the future. So sir, how far into the future would you recommend according to, living in the present?
Your good name?
Anand Singh.
Anand Singh. Look, there is duality to life. Four-sighted doesn't mean you should not be short-sighted. भगवान ने हमें दोनों तरह की नजर दी है ना. There is always duality to life. And let me tell you one thing. आप आज जो भी गोल लिखोगे आज से 10 साल बाद वाला, right? और अगर आप हर रोज उस पर मेहनत करोगे कंसिस्टेंटली, देखो डे टाइट का मतलब कंसिस्टेंटली हर रोज काम करना, एंड इट पावर ऑफ हैबिट्स, हैबिट्स आर इंपॉर्टेंट. आप वो गोल नहीं अचीव करोगे, यू विल अचीव समथिंग बेटर, बिकॉज राइट नाउ यू डोंट इवन नो व्हाट योर पोटेंशियल इज. अभी तो आपको ये लगता है कि मैं सुबह नहीं उठ सकता, मैं मीठा नहीं छोड़ सकता, मेरे को मैथ्स नहीं समझ में आता. वंस यू चेंज दोस थिंग्स, यू हम जिम जाते हैं, पहले दिन 2-2 kg का डंबल उठाना मुश्किल होता है. Then same people after 1 year, 1.5 years, they are lifting 25 kg dumbbells, 30 kg dumbbells. Why does that happen? It could not be imagined on that day. Trust me, you will achieve a lot more. And it doesn't mean you have to follow one thing and you can't follow other thing. एक गोल को पर्सपेक्टिव में लेके डे टू डे में ब्रेक डाउन करोगे ना, कि बिना किसी गोल के डे टू डे कंपार्टमेंट बना लोगे. It should lead to something. So there is duality to this thing, right? So one is not, I would say, these are not what you call in set theory mutually exclusive sets नहीं है. There is a huge overlap. All right. So your day-to-day compartments has to towards certain goals, but those bigger goals should not, वो एक दिन में तो अचीव होने वाले नहीं है. तो हर रोज की आप हैबिट्स और डे प्लान क्या करते हो, that becomes important. All right. So these are not counter-intuitive things. If you really just एक layer और deeply सोचो इसके बारे में. I hope I have answered your question. All right. Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Self-awareness is a thing we have to learn, right? तो इसमें एक point है कि हम we seek validation from others. Like if we have a problem, हमें उसका सोल्यूशन खुद से नहीं मिलता तो हम वो शेयर करते हैं और लोगों से. तो क्या ये सही चीज़ है शेयर करना अपने सॉल्यूशंस किसी?
बिल्कुल सही चीज़ है. शेयर करो, लोगों से फीडबैक लो,
बट वो वैलिडेशन सीख करना हो गया ना कि मैं ऐसे क्यों हूँ, मुझे ये तंग कर रही है चीज़, मैं दूसरों से अपने फ्रेंड से पूछूंगी तो वो उसके सॉल्यूशंस देंगे. तो वो तो ऐसे हो गया ना कि वी आर सीकिंग वैलिडेशन फ्रॉम अदर्स.
योर गुड नेम?
Anshika Jain.
Anshika, look, again, if we live in a society, right, in the name of being, self-aware, you cannot be a person who is nuisance to everyone else. So your behavior has to be in sync. ये society इतनी progress क्यों की? Because we learned that there are certain things which are acceptable and which are not, right? So your behavior should not be in the name of independence and being yourself. You cannot be disrespectful, to others, and you cannot disregard the opinion of everyone else. In the name of, this is also sometimes a lesson people take, in the name of being yourself, independence, you cannot be nuisance to others. So it is very, very important that you constantly take that feedback. But at what point it becomes an unhealthy validation? That is the judgment call you have to take, right? So let's say you write a blog, let's say, and no one is liking it. You take the feedback. Right? But if you are worried about if your happiness and mood depends only on the number of likes on that blog, then it becomes an unhealthy validation. So again, coming to what I was saying earlier, duality is very, very critical. Where you have to know where that line is, and it is for you to decide.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Sir. First of all, great afternoon, sir.
Thank you.
And just a follow-up question on that. How do we know where the line is? Because if we are, being self-aware and knowing our weaknesses, sometimes we can get too critical of ourselves. And if we are counting our strengths too high, then we can be narcissists. So, how do we know where's the line? Because we see everything from our lenses. Certain perspective we have. Everyone like schemas they follow to put things into perspective. How do we decide ourselves that this is the middle path that we are walking and not harming others, not harming ourselves too?
I think the thing is generally this is my view on it. There is no metrics where I can say, let's say like let's say body mass index. It is a very clear heuristic that if it is above 25 you are obese, let's say. There is no clear cut heuristic on this. I think this is something that you have to know for yourself. And because we live in a society, every decision you take cannot be from the perspective of just who you are and about your own individuality. We have to grow together as a society, and how you are, I said one important parameter of success is how much you are contributing in the life of others. That is an important value system. So once you make that part of your calculation, you will know that. But I don't have any heuristic for that.
Thank you.
All right. I will just take one more question. I think people have other classes, so people are moving. And even if since time is limited over here, we can connect over some other medium, and I will definitely love to answer your questions, so that won't be a problem. So,
good afternoon, sir. My name is Ajay. Sir, I want to ask you that when did you decide to get self-awareness? Was it for career, or something happened in your life that hit you very hard that now this is the time I should get self-awareness? I want to know that.
all right. So I think it was, for me, it was just plain luck. Despite when people see your profile, you are from IIM Ahmedabad and you were an investment banker and you were a director of a company at the age of 26, but it hides the kind of failure you were. And for me it was plain luck. लोग assume कर लेते हैं कि मैं IIM Ahmedabad से हूँ तो मैं public speaking अच्छी करता हूँ. But even during my entire academic career, I've never been on stage, and I was nervous in front of people. And one pack invited me to speak, but somehow I think I was always slightly courageous, and I thought I will go prepared and I will somehow be on stage. And from that, whatever I read, I realized that self-awareness is important. So it was just plain luck for me. So I made it a mission of, look, I have a couple of missions in my life. We have this Switch to Great mission, where we want to create a community of youngsters who are more competent, who are more self-aware, who are continuously enhancing their capabilities, and that will result in a great nation. So that is one mission with which we have started, and second, from my own perspective, I always want to get better. Now that is my current vision statement or mission statement for myself. And so for me it was just plain luck that I realized that I am not on the right path, and I saw that results were also showing that I am not on the right path. And the moment I changed that, it changed everything from me. From my health perspective, from my relationship perspective, from my financial success perspective, everything changed once I became self-aware. मैं सोचता था I am a loner, but I am a hardcore family guy, right? I thought I want $1 billion, but all I want is to play some basketball and have a cup of coffee. Who needs $1 billion for that, right? So the thing is, sometimes you create, because of others' pressure, how they look at you. कि भाई ये बंदा, even in IIM Ahmedabad, I never used to study and do decent. And I was seen as this cool guy who need not to study and who is a loner. और मेरे को लगा ये बढ़िया image, and I was trying to defend that, and I suffered because of that. Alright. कोई बात नहीं, आप जोर से बोल.
Good afternoon, sir. My question is, how can we overcome the pressure caused by positive labeling?
Look, positive labeling का pressure, only way to do it is, if let's say you are labeled as a genius who need not to study, right? But you still go ahead and study. Don't accept that label. Be humble. Tell them, look, don't call me genius. Look, when we, in our second inning as a company, we consciously said, everyone, go tell everyone we are a small company. Don't take the pressure as if we are some big shot or something like that. Don't take those pressures. It is quite simple sometimes. Right? Accept that. You're welcome. And yeah.
How can we become better at becoming more self-aware? And
practice. Take notes. Right? Buy that notebook today. Do your SWOT analysis every 6 months. Compare it. Right? Visualize your goals. Take feedback from people who can genuinely give you feedback. Understand your value and needs. Find your passion. Right? And passion need not to be profession. Sometimes it could be a hobby also. You might be a banker, a boring banker, but in the evening you can play basketball and live by.
How to find a passion? Yes.
यही है रास्ता यार, सेल्फ अवेयरनेस. अपने आप को जानोगे तो पैशन भी आएगी. और ये ऐसे देखो, यही सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है. आपको लगता है मैं 1 मिनट में आपको आंसर दे दूं. It is not that easy. It will not happen like that.
Actually, sir, there is more confusion in my life that whenever I watch a movie like Dangal, that I'm so passionate about that I should go for a wrestling, and that should be my great career. But after that, some months I go for a new other movie like Mary Kom. Why can't I be a boxer?
क्योंकि आपने अभी तक अपने आप को नहीं ना पहचाना है. आपको आप उसी में से देखते हो यार ये हीरो है तो मैं भी ऐसा बन जाऊं. आप हीरो बनना चाहते हो ना, ये आपकी नीड है. तो अपनी स्ट्रेंथ से मैच करके उस तरीके से हीरो बनो. किसी भी फील्ड में बनो, प्रैक्टिस करो, वर्क हार्ड. I think we will close this session here, and I sincerely hope कि मैं 4th March 2032 को आपको मिलूं, and I see you in some amazing place. I pray to God for that, and thank you for being so patient. I really enjoyed. Thank you everyone.
Hi, Nishta, General Secretary of the club, Ra. On behalf of Ra, the Library Club, hereby extend my hearty welcome, a hearty gratitude to our esteemed guest, Mr. Vishal Sood, for not only sparing his valuable time, but also sharing with us his thoughts on how not to get labeled. So, we will try to emulate your footsteps. Team Ra is blessed that Principal Sir Mr. Pawan Sharma for his all-round support. The motivation and efforts of Deepti ma'am is a big booster. The presence of faculty members is encouraging for us. The support of library staff members needs special mention because especially Pooja Saraf ma'am. She is unable to be present here, but she always gives her maximum in every event and activity of the library. We feel elated to have our fellow students as the participants. With this, I invite Sutapa ma'am for a formal vote of thanks.
At the very outset, I would like to say that we all thoroughly enjoyed this first offline event that has been organized by the Department of Library. Thank you, my dear friend and librarian Deepti Madan, for organizing this event. But as they say, all good things had to come to an end. In the same manner, the today's event also has come to its conclusion. We are highly grateful, extremely grateful to Mr. Sood for sparing time from his busy schedule and enlightening our students. We hope that Sir's thoughtful and insightful words will enable the students to utilize their strength and potential. Yes, we learnt a lot from your lecture, sir, and when we go out from here, we will definitely buy a notebook, and at least I'm going to do that, and a notebook on ourselves, because we all know that self-awareness is very important. And I take this opportunity to also extend thanks to our respected principal, sir, for his strength and support, which is beyond words. His guidance and inspiration make our every event go. Loads of thanks to college librarian Mrs. Deepti Madan. Her efforts and focus make every activity of the library successful. A big round of appreciation and applaud for Team Ra for their endeavors, vision and hard work. Their passion and vision will take them to lofty levels. I wish you success in all your perspectives. I am extremely thankful to all the faculty members for their gracious presence and participation. Many thanks to all the staff members of our college library for their dedication and commitment to every library-oriented activity. We are also thankful to all the non-teaching staff for their help and support for this event. I wish all the participating students a promising future. Finally, Almighty bless us all with well-being and happiness. Thank you.
Thank Thank you, ma'am. May I now request Deepti ma'am, Sutapa ma'am for presenting memento to Mr. Vishal Sood as a small token of gratitude from ourselves. May I also request all RA panel members, Shailendra sir, Rajni ma'am and Harpreet sir to please come on the stage.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय